But I don't remember the front of this hall, but this would have been it. My brother Brian used to come in every night, every time we were here. And the nuns always used to tell me, "Oh, your brother Brian was here." And I said, "Oh, lovely." And I'd always ask him the same thing, knowing what the answer was. He arrived around supper time, had the supper, because they used to serve supper and go home. I said, "I thought you'd like the music." He said, "He told me the other night he did dance occasionally."
But he was there for the food.
He was there to get the food. Because the nuns and all the Parent Teachers Association, whatever it was, made beautiful suppers. That was the other great thing about Spencer Street. The food was very good. So it all happened here. Isn't it interesting?
So Spencer Street gave you a chance to do things differently and try out?
In a professional situation where people were discerning, we were playing to our audience, same age group. Well, no, the key guys in the old downbeats were older generation, but the new front line, which was me and Dave Russell and Brian Ringrose, Peter Ward, we were the new generation, and so was our audience. So it was a perfect situation where you get the peer group doing something, whereas in the earlier days it was always older people playing down to younger people. And the great thing about the 60s and the late 50s was that a whole new audience was coming, and the 60s were going to own their generation, and we were part of it. And it was so exciting, fabulous. Who needed drugs? We didn't. Now see, these shoes, these are actually tight. Those other ones would have been tiny.
Well, believe it or not, they're probably the same size.
Okay.
Because they're good on me, these are too big.
Okay. We'll see how, but I like, these are cool.
Yeah, they are cool. There's so much more to teach them too.
Jeepers. Should have brought my shoehorn. Get in there, you little foot. The old grey mare. 2 for T and T for T. Me for you and you for me. Let you see how happy we will be. Bye-bye! That's weird to come back and do that. This was the coolest place in town in the late 50s, early 60s. This was a cool place. What happened in this room here was that this is where the fusion of the tap dancing and the rock and roll came together. And I honed with the Invaders our floor shows for an young American audience who were into R&B pop, which is what we were already doing virtually exclusively with the Odd Shadows or Ventures instrumental. And we honed all of our shows here. And that was what people like Howard Morrison saw and said, "Hey, you've got to go to Auckland." And I believed him. And of course we took that whole theory and whole ethic to Auckland and just blew them away. And we were so surprised because we were just doing a combination of my vaudevillian tap dancing upbringing and singing upbringing with rock and roll and a rock and roll band. And the guys hated doing most of the stuff I told them to do. But we took it to Auckland and they went, "Wow, bravo, bravo." And we took it to Sydney, and it was just amazing. And 5 tours of Australia and New Zealand later, and many hit records and many awards. And then the band broke up because 2 of the guys wanted to live in Australia. I didn't have anything against that, but I just loved the idea of being overseas stars in Australia, that we were from New Zealand and we'd take the talent to Australia and get exciting overseas treatment and come home again. So I moved to California then, to San Francisco, in the heart of psychedelia, without the drugs, I hasten to say that. And I suppose the highlight of there was playing Donovan's Reef in San Francisco with the Turtles, So Happy Together. It was a very big hit at the time. And just before I came home to do Come On 68 for 6 months, which went on for 16 years, that contract, I played the San Francisco Auditorium with Eric Burden and the New Animals, and that was a great thrill for me to do that. And learn about 8-track audio production and making records with in stereo, because all of our records heretofore were mono. But really, this is the place where we trialed it all without even knowing it. this was our trial. And then we went on, and so really, thank you for taking me around, all the way around my haunts as a child and a teenager. It's been a very special day. And it's brought back memories that, well, you've got it on tape. I'm a verbal diarrhea person, and I just see something, and I'll just think of something and that I've not thought about for 50 years. So, thank you so much.